Hello everybody, Lynn Thurgood, OWA Live. Today we're going to talk a little bit about inflation and gold, precious metals a little bit. It's kind of timely. I've got a couple of things I want to share with you. We've taught all of our clients in our workshops about using gold and precious metals as an alternative, as a hedge, as a diversified asset. I'm going to dig into that a little bit deeper here in this short session. Inflation has reared its head recently, and of course you can't listen to any news or read anything without hearing about it. Bringing back memories. I hope we don't go back to the 1980s and how things were there, because that was a mess. But we don't know. Historically, inflation over the last 15-20 years has averaged between 1.5 to about 3.3% per year. Of course, now we're hearing numbers like 8 or more, and we're hopeful that the central banks, Powell and others that impact this, develop some type of control. Inflation is simply, with the rise of prices of goods, the purchasing power of the dollar goes down. And of course, with all the stimulation that's occurred lately with government programs during the COVID, etc., a lot of money got printed. That also causes the dollar to lose value, which is another impact on inflation. So we got to keep an eye on it. But generally in our planning, we just say plan on about a 3% average inflation, and that's what we're doing, although there will be periods where it's higher than that. And we'll keep an eye on that. But it's important to understand how it impacts your income and your purchasing power, so look at it. Now, gold, precious metals might be a great inflation hedge. If we look back at the gold price back in about 22 years ago, it was around $287 an ounce. Today, it's right around $2,000 an ounce. We've also found that it's an uncorrelated asset, meaning that as markets start going that away, a lot of time your precious metals and gold stay the course or actually increase. And so that's kind of helpful, not just as a stock market alternative, but it also helps impact offset the impact of inflation. Now, I do have a timely article I want to share with you. By the way, we encourage physical gold and silver, not paper. I always say that a paper gold certificate is about as good to you as a paper certificate for a life vest on the Titanic. If I'm on the Titanic, I want physical possession of that life vest. I don't want a paper saying good for one life vest. Does that make sense? So always look for physical possession, not paper. Now, just recently I got a note that I want to share with you. This is from one of our gold wholesalers that we've referred many of you to, National Gold Consultants out of Minnesota. And I'm going to read. Typically, I like to share eyeball to eyeball here, but I need to read this because this is just brand new. 24 February, Putin invaded Ukraine, and of course, he's been engaged in an intense chess match against the other major leaders of the Western world. Sanctions have been imposed by Mr. Biden and by other leaders, and Mr. Putin has responded by tying natural gas to the ruble, which is their currency. Now, Russia is the #1 natural gas exporter around the globe, and they have made it clear that the ruble was the only accepted form of payment for natural gas. So the chess match is going on relative to him protecting his financial security. Now, there was some additional sanctions put on, and they were trying to restrict Russia's ability to use gold reserves to prop up its currency. Putin didn't bat an eye. He moved his queen, so to speak, and declared check on the U.S. He tied gold inextricably to the ruble. Now, you remember back in the Nixon era, we detached ourselves from physical gold. Brilliant move on Mr. Putin's part to tie the ruble to gold. So now he basically has established a fixed flat rate for gold. So bottom line, what does that mean? Because this is a short segment. It's going to mean that gold's going to have a much stronger holding for potential growth in the future. So, do we recommend gold? Yes. Do we recommend everything go to gold? No. 5 to 15% of your overall investments in that position. Lots of reasons to consider it, look at it. We're here as a resource. We can tie you into these types of resources to get further educated and be informed. That's the purpose of OWA Live. We're glad to be that resource. Take care, stay well. Until the next opportunity, see you later.